The classic Doraemon series operates on a reliable circuit. A bullied child cries for help, a robotic cat produces a glowing, futuristic gadget, and a gentle moral lesson follows. It is a predictable, entirely innocent formula. The YouTube channel Comic Bag breaks this childhood loop immediately. When the protagonist asks for help with his exams and bullies, the robotic cat ignores the high-tech gadgets and instead hands him a bottle of Desi Daru, a cheap, locally brewed liquor. The liquor acts as a magical serum. The scrawny kid takes a sip and instantly morphs into a hyper-aggressive brute, marching back to the local playground to physically dominate his childhood bullies. By taking a familiar property and replacing its core mechanic with an R-rated fever dream, the creator secures a hook. You are left wondering exactly how far the joke will be allowed to escalate. The joke quickly outgrows the playground. The boy develops a craving for the serum, actively utilizing the robot's multiversal doors to hunt down more liquor across different dimensions. This addiction creates a violent ripple effect. The familiar supporting cast, the childhood crush, the wealthy rival, the local tough guy, are all dragged into the chaos, engaging in uncharacteristic and wildly exaggerated brawls. The Desi Daru is revealed to be an artifact of immense, uncontrollable power that violently alters the personality of anyone who drinks it. The robotic cat realizes his initial mistake of handing over the bottle has triggered a threat that he can no longer contain on a local scale. What started as a slapstick dispute rapidly spirals into a high-stakes multiversal crisis, forcing the audience to reconsider the genre of the video they are watching. This brings us to the central antagonist of this universe, Ramu Halwai. The script treats his existence with the absolute, deadpan gravity of a cosmic villain. Long before the Big Bang, in an endless dark void, Ramu peacefully sold samosas. Then, life evolved and visited the void. After taking a bite, they complained the samosas lacked salt. Driven by rage, Ramu brewed the ultimate weapon, Desi Daru, to wipe out reality. During a battle with cosmic guardians, this liquor was accidentally knocked over and scattered across the multiverse, making it the equivalent of infinity stones. By granting a petty samosa vendor complex cosmic motivations and a tragic backstory, the creator executes the deadpan mythos trope effectively. The absurdist comedy operates as gripping, high-stakes lore. To stop this cosmic threat, the protagonist and his robotic cat realize they can't fight alone. They travel across different intellectual properties to assemble a multiversal strike force. Their recruitment drive pulls in a bizarre roster. They draft a condescending Indian superhero, a foul-mouthed child, and a confused bootleg Spider-Man. The editing and dialogue in these scenes meticulously mimic the pacing and structural beats of a massive Hollywood blockbuster team-up. But right as the heroic assembly reaches its climax, it is abruptly cut short by a sudden, violent ambush from the cosmic villain's minions. This chaotic IP mashup functions by bombarding the viewer with recognizable but deeply twisted pop culture references, weaving them into a legitimate action sequence. Then, the blockbuster action instantly stops. The protagonist is attacked during the ambush and wakes up entirely alone in a blindingly white, empty void. Wandering through the emptiness, the boy eventually meets an old man. The man reveals himself to be a 60-year older version of the protagonist. The older protagonist delivers a terrifying explanation. They haven't died and gone to the afterlife. They are trapped in a purgatory that exists completely outside of time and reality. This sudden pivot from a loud action comedy to a bleak, isolated psychological thriller shatters the viewer's expectations of the genre. The older version reveals the true cosmic horror of their situation. Every 60 years, another version of the protagonist arrives in this exact same void. He points to the physical proof, a massive mountain of identical skeletons, representing countless failed timelines and thousands of years of repeating history. There is absolute hopelessness in this reveal. There is no escape portal, no heroic sacrifice to save everyone, and no final battle against Raman. There is only an endless, inescapable loop of death. Over the course of 5 minutes, the video systematically evolved from a crude, localized joke into a calculated, genuinely chilling sci-fi paradox. What began as a parody about a robotic cat and a samosa vendor concludes as a psychological thriller. It shows how the structure of a high-concept sci-fi narrative can be used to turn a simple internet parody into something genuinely unsettling.